Do you remember the last time a game left you speechless? Not because of its flashy graphics or hype, but because it truly moved you. What happened to those games? The ones that kept you up all night, not just playing, but thinking about them. When I first picked up a controller, it was like stepping into a different universe. Now, I wasn't just playing games, I was almost literally living them. But not exactly, but you know what I mean. The puzzle solving magic of Zelda, the adrenaline rush of defeating a boss in Mega Man, or the pure chaos and laughter of late night Halo LAN parties. Now, these weren't just games, they were memories. As cliche as it sounds, friendships, even life lessons in disguise. Games weren't about chasing trends or selling skin or even boasting about them. They were about connection with words, stories, and each other. But today, it just feels like something is missing. The graphics are stunning, I know, but the heart, the magic that made me cancel plans just to roam a pixelated universe, it feels like it's already fading away. Instead, we're stuck in a loop of microtransactions, copy-paste mechanics, and safe, soulless designs. So even if it's a different game, it almost feels like it's still the same. So let's talk about it. In this video, we're going deep. Why gaming feels so hollow today, how we got here, and more importantly, what we can do to bring the joy back. Because it's not just about nostalgia, it's about demanding better for the future. So if you're ready, buckle up and welcome to Fyllontal, so let's dive in. But first, let's tackle the big question. Why are games today so boring? Let's start with the most obvious problem. Games are playing it safe. Whether it's an open world RPG or a first-person shooter, chances are you've seen this formula before. Huge maps, endless side quests, and tons of collectibles. At first, these mechanics were fresh, but over time, they've become stale. The excitement of exploring a massive open world? Gone. The thrill of leveling up? Diminished. Here's why. Developers are reusing these tried and true elements because they work. They're familiar and familiarity sells. But familiarity also breeds boredom. What once felt like innovation has now become a routine. We're not getting the new, we're getting the safe. This leads to a critical question. Why are developers so afraid to innovate? The answer lies in psychology and the economics behind game design. It's not just laziness. There's a psychological reason behind why games today are designed the way they are. It's all about dopamine loops. You know, that little rush you get when you unlock a new item or finish a quest? That's your brain releasing dopamine, the feel-good chemical. But here's the kicker. Other games exploit this constantly. Rewards pop up everywhere whether you've earned them or not. Achievements, daily rewards, battle passes, they're all designed to keep you chasing the next hit. The problem? Your brain gets used to it. It craves more, but feels less satisfied each time. It's a classic case of diminishing returns. Games today are using psychology to keep you playing, but ironically, it's also why they feel so unfulfilling. Sure, you're unlocking things, but are you really enjoying the game? Are you? So, behind every game major release is a team of developers walking a tightrope. Why? Because gaming is expensive. Today's AAA game costs hundreds of millions of dollars to produce. With that much money on the line, studios are terrified of taking risks. They're sticking to the same formulas because they work, or at least they used to. But that doesn't mean they're fun. Publishers see games as products and they want to guarantee returns, as all things should be. But innovation, on the other hand, that's risky, and risk can lead to failure. That's why so many games feel the same. The fear of failure is holding back the creativity that used to define the industry. Think about it. When was the last time a major studio released a game that truly broke the mold? But there's a twist. This sameness is creating an opportunity for the little guys to shine. Indie developers, on the other hand, aren't playing by the same rules. They don't have huge budgets or corporate overlords breathing down their neck. Instead, they have freedom. And that freedom is leading to some of the most innovative, emotionally driven games we've seen in years. Games like Celeste or Hades aren't trying to be the biggest or the flashiest. They're focused on telling stories, challenging players, and creating experiences that stick with you. What makes this game stand out is their willingness to be different. They take risks, and sometimes they fail, but when they succeed, they remind us why we fell in love with gaming in the first place. And yet, despite their success, the mainstream gaming industry is still slow to change. Which begs the question, what's it going to take to bring innovation back to the forefront of gaming? By the way, if you're finding this breakdown helpful and you want to see more deep dives into the gaming industry, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to like this video. And that will also be a big help for the algorithm to push this new channel. So let's continue. Another reason modern games feel so dull is the lack of real player agency. Sure, you might get to make choices, but how many of them actually matter? More often than not, your choices are superficial. Different dialogue here, a slightly altered mission there, but nothing that genuinely changed the game. Compare that to older games where every decision felt meaningful. Games like Mass Effect or The Witcher made you feel like your actions had weight. But today, most games just funnel you down the same path, no matter what you choose. This lack of agency is a subtle but powerful reason why modern games can feel so uninspired. When players realize their choices don't matter, they stop caring. And when you stop caring, the game just stops being fun. And there's another issue, nostalgia. Lately, the gaming industry has been banking on our emotional attachment to old favorites. Remakes, remasters, reboots, they're everywhere. And while it's great to relive those classics, it's also show a deeper problem, the lack of new ideas. Instead of creating original experiences, developers are leaning on the past to carry them forward. But here's the thing, nostalgia only works for so long. Eventually, the players want something new. Not just a shinier version of something they've already played. The over-reliance on remakes is a sign that the industry is running out of creative fuel. And if that's the case, where does that leave us as gamers? So, where do we go from here? The good news is all hope isn't lost. Indie developers are continuing to push the boundaries of what's possible in gaming, and their success is starting to influence the industry at large. As gamers, we need to support these innovators. The future of gaming lies in the hands of those willing to take risks, create unique stories, and deliver experiences that break away from the repetitive formulas we've grown tired of. Maybe it's time for us as players to demand more. More innovation, more meaningful gameplay, and more creativity. Only then we can bring back the excitement that made the gaming so magical in the first place. In the end, games today feels boring. Not because we've changed, but because the industry has forgotten that made gaming fun. And it's time to remind them. What do you think? Are modern games falling flat for you too? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more insights like this.